Yo, yo, yo. Can you guys hear me? All right. Sorry, I haven't done my streaming setup in like months and months and months, so just bear with me here. We're coming through loud and clear, fellas and ladies. Awesome. Is it too loud? Is it too hot? Too soft? Let me know. Let me know about the volumes, because I really have no idea what I'm doing. Well, hey, thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. I just thought I would just do an impromptu live stream, because for those people that were part of my live streams over Christmas and New Year's, I did say that I would do a live stream like once a month, and I haven't done a live stream once a month. This is the first live stream I've done since January, so it's been a minute. So I just want to hang out with you guys for an hour and a half or so and just kind of shoot the shit for a while. I don't really have anything like prepared for this live stream. I just thought I would do it and talk to you guys. So I'll try to answer as many questions as I can. But if I don't respond to your question, I apologize. But I'll try to answer as much as I can. Thanks, Brennan, for the super chat, by the way. I appreciate it. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. Hey, thanks, Real Time. I appreciate the kind words there. I'm just scrolling through the chat and talking to everyone. Hey, Kura, how you doing, man? Did I change rooms? No, this is the same room as I've always had. Mike asks, what are you playing these days? Dude, if you look at the top right-hand corner, you can see that I'm playing my Super Mega SG, which is probably the thing that's getting the most play right now. Thanks, Woody's Geek Channel, for the $2. Any 3DS modding going on? I've got a 3DS video that's in the works, Mr. Armenia. So it's been very heavily requested that I do a 3DS video. So there's one coming very, very soon. What's up, Artro? Shigeru Miyamoto's on the channel as well. I'm honored by your presence, sir. Thank you for joining the chat. Sega Dreamcast stream when? I'm sure I'll probably do one at some point this year. Red Chaos. I spy ESP LTD EC guitar in the back. No, that's correct, Mad Polar Bear. Yes, that is. I do have a couple of guitars behind me, actually. Lamboa asks, I'm studying software. What tips would you give to beginner developers? I would say, that's a good question. I would say look at, read books, man. Like, I started out as a C programmer, and I read, the best book I ever read was the original C book by Koenig and Ritchie, the guys that actually developed the language. And that book is like the Bible. So if you can latch onto a good programming book, that will take you a long way. But also look at like tutorials and stuff online as well. I think that's pretty good. Donation chime too loud. Yeah, let me turn that down. Thanks for letting me know. I will turn that down. Thanks for the $2, Kiwi Doggy. Thanks for joining the live stream, man. Much appreciated. Any Intellivision modding happening? I don't actually have an Intellivision, Mr. Armenia, unfortunately. Sean says, I live in Long Island. I've been watching you for years. When you said you were coming to the expo, I got so excited. Can't wait to meet you. Hey, Sean, I can't wait to go to Long Island Retro Expo, man. I'm so psyched about it. For those people that don't know, I will be attending the Long Island Retro Expo I believe it's in August this year. So I'm super excited to be there. I'm going to do a presentation there, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait to meet with anyone that will be present at that event. Lane, no gaming today. I may fire up the Mega SG and play some games, but I really just wanted to kind of hang out with you guys and just answer questions. Lambda Calculus, yes, the Koenig and Ritchie C book is worth checking out. Absolutely. If you want to be a C programmer, get the Koenig and Ritchie C book. It is amazing. What's up, Frog XP? Thanks for joining, buddy. Thanks, Tyler. I appreciate the kind words. Yeah, Mike May says the Mega SG, loving the Mega SG. Yes, the Mega SG is awesome. I'm going to play some games as well, I'm sure. Hello, John Gotti from Russia. Thanks for joining the stream. JJSS, what did you study in college? I went to college and studied computer science. That's why I'm such a big nerd. Mark Zimmerman asked, do you think you'll ever take up retro game reviews? No, I don't think so, Mark. There's a lot of YouTubers that already cover game reviews, and honestly, they do a pretty good job, so I don't really feel like I need to do that. I'd rather kind of stick to my lane and do the stuff that I like to do. Hey, MVG, have you checked out Retro Arch DOSBox Core yet? I have not, Dr. D Money, or Mr. D Money. I'll definitely check that out. I know that they got the Dynarec working on it, so I'm actually pretty interested in taking a look at that. Mr. Pete 1985. Thanks for joining, man. Sorry you have to go to bed, but I'm glad you stopped by for a minute. Michael Webb, do you know about the Columbia Home Arcade? I do not, Michael. I do not. I've heard something about a Coleco remake or something, but I got to be honest, I'm not really the right person to ask there. A1 Chemist. I have a Nintendo Switch that's running SXOS, and I want to run RetroArch installed for the N64 emulator. So what custom OS would be best to change to? I would probably use Atmosphere, only because it has got a new update recently. But I think if you use Rainix or Atmosphere, either one of those are going to suit you pretty well. But I personally use Atmosphere for my modded Switch. I also do use SXOS as well, but you know, it's probably a little fallen behind the Atmosphere. Hey, Random Bytes, shout out to Argentina. Yes, thank you for joining, and welcome. Thank you for joining the chat, man. Have you played any recent C64 games, such as Age of Heroes, Steel Ranger, or Sam's Journey? I have a copy of Sam's Journey, Mr. Armenia, and I've played maybe a couple of levels of it. I really like it, but honestly, I need to spend more time playing the game. Thank you so much, Midvilist. I love your videos. Thank you. I'm sorry if I butchered your name there, man. Run emulators on Android video. Richard C asks, I may do a video on Android, but it's not really my wheelhouse. I'd rather focus on consoles, as you guys know. Hey, so Jenna AFK asks, hey MVG, do you think or know if anyone is working on an Xbox Live replacement for the OG Xbox? I think it would be cool to have all the old consoles working instead of X-Link Kai. Dude, I would agree with you. I would love to see an Xbox Live replacement. I've heard some rumblings that it was kind of something that some folks in the Xbox dev community were working on, but honestly, the problem is, and I'm going to be totally honest about this, Xbox Live on the OG Xbox, for whatever reason, was a completely missed opportunity. And let me explain what that means. So if you think about the GameCube, how there was some folks that from day one, as soon as the GameCube and the, I'm thinking about the Nintendo Wii, the online stuff on the Wii, not the GameCube. But if you think about Mario Kart on the Wii and Smash Brothers, there were people on day one, you know, capturing packets from the Nintendo Wi-Fi connection network, and they were analyzing things pretty much the day that that network, you know, went online. But unfortunately, on the OG Xbox, that never really happened, and I don't really know why. And unfortunately, we're in this situation now where there's really no good information on how to emulate Xbox Live. Some people have taken a stab at it, but we never really had those, you know, those people, those individuals that were capturing packets and network data back in the day to analyze it and to understand how it all worked. So we're kind of in the situation where we are in now, where we don't really have anything except for Xlink Kai, which you know is pretty good tunneling software, but it's unfortunately not, you know, what we're looking for. So hopefully maybe we'll see some type of Xbox Live replacement, but we're kind of against the wall here, you know, with the fact that there's no one's really done any kind of research on this in the past, and now it's too late, obviously. So hopefully that answers that question. But I feel you, man. I'd love to see Xbox Live 1.0 emulated once again. I think that would be cool. So hey, Miss Mad Lemon, thank you for joining. It's good to see you here. Top Spot asks, have you got the Mega SG jailbroken yet? No, I haven't. I think Smoke Monster's in the chat, so he's the man to talk to. But I will get my Mega SG jailbroken here pretty soon, I'm sure. Nifty Retro Gamer, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Erroneous Click says, need to know server calls and responses. Yes, that's exactly right. So unfortunately, none of that stuff is documented, and that's really where we get kind of tripped up on Xbox Live 1.0 emulation, unfortunately. David B, hello from Costa Rica. Thank you for joining. What pleasure to see you live. What do you think about the Google Stadia? It's video game stream end of... I don't know about the Google Stadia. I mean, I think it's interesting, but I also really question how well it will work in the real world. I mean, for those people that have good internet connections, I'm sure it's going to be great, but there's a lot of people, and a lot of people live in different countries around the world that don't have a great internet connection, and I think that's really going to be an issue for them. So I don't know about the Google Stadia, to be completely honest. Is it something that I would buy? I don't even think I would buy it. It's not really something that's in my wheelhouse, quite honestly, but I am interested to see what it comes out to be. I'm sure it's going to be a great product, but I also am not sure the execution of the Google Stadia, whether it actually will be everything that they say it will be. But we'll see. I mean, I think digital gaming and live streaming and digital services, unfortunately, is kind of the future. You know, I'm kind of old school, and I prefer the physical, you know, old school approach to gaming, but you know, I also have to be realistic that this is the way things are going as well. So not sure about the Stadia. I'm sure it will be a great product, but I'm probably not going to get one, quite honestly. Yeah, I mean, stream boxes, I mean, I've used a Stream Link before, and a Steam Link, I should say, and I've used an NVIDIA Shield TV. I mean, it's something that it's okay, but it's also just fraught with so many issues as well. So Stormblade the Legend, thank you for joining, man. Yes, you can absolutely have a shout out. Shout outs to anyone. Streaming games are stupid, Yuki says it. Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know if it's stupid, man, but I don't really agree with it myself. Your lad Jack asks, what's your opinion on VR? Yeah, I like VR, man. I've got a PSVR set up, so I like it. I probably don't use it as much as I should, but I mean, I play Astrobot and Tetris Effect, which no one should tell you anything different. Tetris Effect is the best VR game, hands down. If you want to get VR, get Tetris Effect. Everything else is good, but Tetris Effect is like the killer app for VR. Nigel Rhodes, would you buy a driverless Xbox when it came out? Good question. I don't think so. I don't think I would buy a driverless Xbox. I just don't really see the reason to get one. But I also think it's cool that Microsoft is coming to the table with, well, rumored to come to the table with a new Xbox that will be driverless, but we'll see how that goes. Favorite portable console? Puppet Game Reviews asks PlayStation Vita, hands down. Hands down. I'm sorry for the Switch fans in the chat. I love the Nintendo Switch, but there's just something about the Vita that is just like, I'm just so bummed that Sony just didn't, you know, promote it and push it any further. And I'm so bummed that Sony has gotten out of the handheld market. But I love the Vita. It's such an awesome piece of hardware. SPK, I've been considering jumping into Xbox Homebrew thanks to your vids. Are there any major differences between a legit debug and a converted one apart from the RAM? SPK, the short answer is no, there is not. There is hardly any difference whatsoever apart from the RAM. There's going to be some instances where you will have times where you won't be able to debug something or the performance will be a lot slower, but other than that, no, you can get away with a 64 megabyte debug kit, no problem. What's up? Always sunny to the right. Thank you for joining. Res VR, yes, that's another good game. Absolutely, absolutely. Have you read the PSA on the new Vita exploit, Mr. Pete? No, I have not. I will check it out though for sure. I have 8 Xbox Classic 4 modded. I can open. Cool, Mikkel Sandberg. What about the old PSP? I love the PSP. I mean, Sony did some great handhelds, and it really just kind of kills me that they're not making any more. I heard that Sony is going to stop making the Xperias. Is this true? I don't really know, but I would like to see Sony come out with another Xperia that has PlayStation 3 emulation or something. That'd be cool. The Castle Productions, do you consider making your own console? No, I don't think so. It's not really something that's something I would ever do. Mike says, how do you get so damn good looking? Mike, I don't know what screen you're looking at, buddy, but I don't think this is the same stream as the one you're looking at right now. Thank you so much, not Frank Castle. I appreciate the kind words. You should brew your own kombucha. It's easy and super fun. Dude, I really like kombucha. I have no idea. I wouldn't even know where to start how to brew my own, but maybe I'll take a look at doing that. What's up, Sir Joshua? Thank you for joining. What's up, Eternity Snow? Thank you for joining. Yeah, PS Vita is the shit. I love the Vita. Paul Ramos, any chance of an overview of the Dreamcast homebrew and emulators? Yes, Paul. That's something that I'm interested in pursuing. I love the Dreamcast, man. It's an awesome piece of hardware, and I've only really done a couple of videos on it, and there's a lot more that I can cover on that particular platform. So for sure. Cloud McRib, would you think it's possible to port Postal to the Xbox OG? Yes, it is. I am actually, it's a port that I actually started, and I think I will be able to finish it. So yes, I will try to get the Postal port completed, hopefully this year at some point. Sean asks, do you know if any other games were modded on the Xbox besides Halo 2? I remember people doing crazy things. There were quite a few games that were modded at the time, but I mean, I think Halo 2 was the one that really kind of just, you know, continued on past the original Xbox days. There were a lot of trainers that came out for different games, but honestly, Halo 2 was the one that people really latched onto. Mr. D Money, I'm disappointed about the lack of homebrew on the PlayStation 3. Homebrew on the PS3 is interesting. I mean, there's some pretty good stuff on there, but it's, to be honest with you, most people use the PS3, a modded PS3 for piracy, And I'm not saying that they didn't use an Xbox 360 or an OG Xbox for piracy, but most people really just cared about piracy. They didn't really care about the homebrew stuff, which is unfortunate because the PS3 is a very capable system to do homebrew and stuff on. Thank you so much, Wobbly Sammy, for the super chat. I appreciate it. First donation ever. Thank you so much, man. Much appreciated. Postal 2 on the Xbox. Suicidal Joy-Con asks, dude, I would love to port Postal 2 on the Xbox, but I was actually told by Running with Scissors that Epic owns the license to Postal 2. So unless there's a way to kind of grab that out of their hands, it's never going to happen. I don't know how Epic ended up with the Postal 2 license, but they own it. So you know what that means. There's just no way that's going to happen. I would love to port Postal 2. I think that would be cool. Miss Mad Lemon, yeah, the PSP 3000. I want to get a PSP 3000 desperately. I have the 1000, which is pretty awesome, but I do want to get a 3000. They're so good. Replica X, thank you for the $10. Mini cute video when? It's coming, man. It's coming over summer. It's on the list for sure. Does the PS3 run Doom? Yes, it does. Absolutely. Yeah, Ricky. I mean, I wouldn't say Epic are jerks, but it's really something that I just don't see Epic ever giving up the rights to, ever. But who knows? You know, things change. Maybe someone will get the license from them. But unfortunately, Running with Scissors cannot hand out the source code to Postal 2. Matty Burke, I do have a Twitch channel. It's Modern Vintage Gamer on Twitch. Unfortunately, I never use my Twitch channel. I have like 1,000 followers on Twitch, so I should probably jump on there and do some streaming. But you know, I'm pretty lazy. I mean, it's pretty hard for me to get to do a live stream, even on YouTube most of the time. But I should probably get on Twitch and play some games there sometime. That's right, Alexander. Everything runs Doom. Everything has to run Doom. If there's a new system or a new piece of tech, it's got to run Doom, right? Geek Variety, any updates on Xbox PC emulation? I've been keeping one eye on the CXBX stuff and the XGMU stuff. I mean, there's been some progress made, but you know, there's still quite a ways to go there. I have thought about making videos on Xbox emulation on the PC, but I'm probably just going to hold off a little longer before I do that, because it's you know, there's been some really good progress that's been made, but it's still unfortunately probably not where I want it to be, which is a bummer. But you know, what can you do? Brandon Davis, do you think the Dreamcast release today would die the same way it did when it was first released? I hope not. I mean, I hope Sega would be able to, you know, market it differently and you know, do things differently if they had a do-over again. But it's very sad, you know, the Dreamcast died the way it did. But it's still an awesome system. I love the Dreamcast. The Xbox is the Dreamcast too. That's what I tell everyone. Last C, any thoughts on Xenia? I got to go back and revisit and take a look at Xenia. I know it's been updated, but I got to be honest. I mean, ever since Microsoft announced the Master Chief Collection for the PC, I got a lot of tweets from people saying, "Oh, you know, it's the end of Xenia because, you know, it doesn't matter now that it's running Halo anymore." And I don't agree with that. I think that's pretty narrow-minded. So I do need to go back and take a look at Xenia. I kind of look at it, you know, once every couple of weeks, and there's always good progress that's been made to the emulator. So, and hey, you know, if you want to play Scott Pilgrim versus the World and you don't have a modded Xbox, Xenia is the way to do it. And you know, for those people that don't know, Scott Pilgrim versus the World is no longer available on the Xbox Live Arcade store. So you know, Xenia is a great emulator to play a lot of unreleased and not unreleased, but delisted games that are no longer playable on the original Xbox. What's the best homebrew console for MAME and FBA? Daniel, I'd probably say, oh, that's a good question. I mean, I think obviously the Switch plays both of them pretty well, but I'd probably say the Xbox 360 for both of those. And, you know, shameless plug, but I was responsible for both of those emulators, so I would check out the Xbox 360 port of FBA. It's pretty damn good, if I do say so myself. Any thoughts on the Jet Set Radio 3 pilot? Dude, Tokyo 66, I have no idea what you're talking about. Is there a new Jet Set Radio game coming out? Because if there is, I need to know about that immediately. Best way to play Banjo-Kazooie on PC Yeah, I mean, I would say so. Just use an emulator. Do you think someday the PlayStation 4 will have custom firmware? Tube Omar asks. Maybe, but I gotta be honest, I'm not really that up to speed on the PS4 stuff. I did mention earlier this year that I was going to start looking at the PS4 stuff, but I really haven't had a chance or haven't had the time to. But you know, the PS4 stuff is actually really taking off, and there's some really good stuff that's come out on that particular scene. So I will start taking a look at the PlayStation 4 for sure. But as for a custom firmware, I'm not sure. I'm not really versed in what's going on there and how to mod one of those things. But someone that's more versed in PS4 probably can answer that question better than I can at this time. Do you think GTA 6 will be released on the PS4 or upcoming gen consoles? I think GTA 6 will be a next-gen title. And I think, you know, Ghost of Tsushima and some games that are meant for the PlayStation 4 will be on the next-gen system. I think the last of the PlayStation 4 exclusives will be Last of Us 2 and Death Stranding. But I think GTA 6 for sure, once that gets announced, and you know it's a matter of time, will be the next PlayStation console. Suicidal Joy-Con. Is Xbox soft modding really that complicated? No, it's not. Soft modding your Xbox is easy, but I did get some comments about my soft modding video that people thought it was a little too complicated, but it's really not that difficult to do. You just have to kind of follow a couple of steps and you'll get there. But I mean, it's not as easy as like modding a PSP, where it's literally just copying some files to an SD card and then kind of doing it that way. But soft modding an Xbox is pretty easy. SPK, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the kind words and the super chat. Thank you so much. Killer Instinct is awesome. I still play Killer Instinct to this day on the original Xbox, so I really appreciate the shout out. Someone will need to break the PS4 signatures first. Yeah, I mean, Alexander obviously knows more about than I do. But yeah. Any plans to make a guides website, Khaled asks? Dude, probably not. I don't have the time to do that. Khaled. Yeah, people are saying that the audio is too loud for the notifications. I'll figure that out. Top 5 games for an Amiga noob. We've got to actually, Addy asked, we've got a couple of Amiga people in the chat. So, Lambda and Miss Madeleine, you know, chime in with your top 5 Amiga games. But for me, I would say Speedball 2, Pinball Dreams, Lemmings, Out of This World. What else is there? Turrican 2, and what else would there be? Shadow of the Beast, I think, would be my next one. What's up, Jai Wilkes? You wanted a shout out? You got it, buddy. I put a Noctua fan in my OG Xbox. Mr. Pete, yeah, I actually started working on a video to make my Xbox super quiet. So I replaced my hard drive with a compact flash card, and I replaced my fan with a Noctua fan, and I never got around to finishing it. So I will actually go back and and revisit that video because it was really cool. The goal was to just make it as super quiet or as quiet as I possibly could. Yeah, those Noctua fans are good, but I had to use I had to kind of, you know, just kind of chop it down a little bit to make it fit into that spot. Best websites to download games from a modded Wii. Dude, I don't really know, man. I would just Google it. You'll find it. You'll find games pretty easily if you just do some Googling. I'm not really privy on where to find games to download. Is the Xbox One jailbroken yet? No, it is not, Sylvester. Kura asks, I have an OG Xbox and I booted it recently, maybe after 3 years, and when I launch it says Evox upside down with a triangle in the upper left corner. Do you know what to do? Sounds like something's up with your hard drive there, Kura. I probably would put in a Halo 2 disk and see if it can install the original dashboard files, and hopefully that will help, but it may not. It may be a hard drive issue. What's the best emulation device apart from a PC? Right now, I think the NVIDIA Shield is a bitchin' emulation device, especially for the price. Definitely check it out if you want to do some console or portable type, or not portable, but some console emulation. I think the Shield TV is pretty good. Lionheart's a great game. Chaos Engine, yes. Lotus Turbo Challenge, absolutely. They're all good Amiga games. Swiv, Shadow of the Beast, Lotus 2. Yeah, I mean, we got some Amiga fans in the chat. That's awesome. Thank you so much, Dylan, for the $1. Thank you for that $1, that Colin guy. Erroneous Click asks, I have a pre-release, unreleased 360 games I've dumped off my XDK that Xenia runs very well. It won't want every... Yeah, I mean, Xenia is an awesome emulator. If you want a good Xbox 360 emulator and you have a fairly fast PC, Xenia will run most things pretty damn well. Not everything is perfect, but there's been a lot of strides made on that emulator. Chaos Lab, I coded a game on the Amiga. What game did you code there, Chaos Lab? You should share it with the chat. I'm sure the Amiga fans in the chat would really like to know. Hey Tucker, can you make a video of you installing Mega Man 64 and then playing it? I don't know if that's like video quality, man. I mean, I think about 10 people would watch it, but I appreciate the sentiment there. Do you think there'll ever be a game where the source code was released to the public like Halo 1? Unfortunately, Sean, because of licensing and rights issues, I don't think so. I mean, I think id Software really set the trend for releasing source code to old games and stuff, but that whole concept of releasing source to old games that are no longer around has kind of gone away. I'd love to, I mean, come on, who wouldn't like to see original Halo 1 source code? But I just can't see that happening, unfortunately. It'd be really cool though to see. Lastly, I'm planning on making an N64 emulator for the Xbox. I hate myself in finals. I almost have any tips. Lastly, take a look at the existing one that's available that runs under libxenon, which is Mupen 64. It's pretty good, but it's incomplete. So I would say, if you want to write one from scratch, I would take a look at that source code. It's on GitHub. And you can really get a lot of good info out of it. Thank you so much, Alamos. Your videos are great, dude. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much. Solve a mystery for us. Are you in the UK or North America? I am in North America. Although a lot of people think I'm British or something, but I'm not British. Mister is my Amiga now, and FPGA is awesome. Yeah, Mike May, I need to get a Mister. It's something that I've been thinking about getting for a while now, but man, some of that stuff the Mister is doing is really impressive. So I will have to get my hands on one of those babies for sure. Is it common to use a flashcard ID adapter in the US? In France, we just use ID SATA adapter. Not really. It's not really that common to use like a compact flash card over here. It's just that other systems like the Amiga and other kind of things that I've worked on use compact flash. In fact, compact flash cards are pretty hard to find these days. I mean, I don't know if you can even buy them in the stores anymore. And, you know, your only recourse is really like eBay or something. So it's not really that common, but I like using compact flash because, you know, it's quiet and it's low powered. I want to write some homebrew on the OG Wii. Do you know what software tools I would need to debug? That's a good question. I would download DevKit Pro. DevKit Pro will have a compiler for the Wii, and that will get you going. DevKit Pro has compilers for the GameCube, the Wii, the Switch, the Wii U, the GP32, and a couple of other systems. DevKit Pro is awesome. Definitely check it out. I think if you go to devkitpro.org, you'll find what you need. Yes, Addy, yes, Australian accent. Absolutely. Sebastian Flores, are you originally from Melbourne? Yes, I am. I was born and raised in Melbourne, Australia. Best Buy has compact flash cards. Dude, I have not been to Best Buy probably in about 3 years. Well, maybe not that long, maybe 2 years. All the Best Buys in my local area have closed down. Shizogani asks, are you Overlord Gaming? No, someone asked me that before. I don't know who this Overlord Gaming is, but I'll check out his channel. I guess I look like him, I sound like him. I'm not sure, but I'll take a look at his channel for sure. I am Australian Gaming Bunny. Greetings from Adelaide. Awesome. Yeah, I'm born and raised in Melbourne, Sebastian. Fares Manson, is YouTube your full-time job? No, it is not. I have a full-time job. This is what I do on the side. How many video game systems have you modded? Honestly, Punky Dudester, I've lost count. I've modded a lot of systems over the years for sure. Are you sure you aren't Russian? I am not Russian. Hello from Perth. Awesome, Cuz Judd. Thank you for joining. Overlord Gaming is great, worth a look. Yeah, I'll definitely check him out. I'll take a look at his channel. Do you speak any other languages? Yes, I speak Greek. Kevtris has expressed how difficult the N64 would be. Yeah, I've heard the same thing. I think it would be very, very difficult to FPGA-ize, for lack of a better term, the Nintendo 64. What's up, Mr. Get Now? Thank you for joining from the UK. I speak C++. Yeah, I do speak C++. Thank you so much, Jorge from Costa Rica. I see you're an Arsenal fan. I'm a Liverpool fan. But thank you for joining the chat. Are you excited for Avengers Endgame? Yeah, I think I am. I mean, I didn't get tickets or anything, but I'll definitely check it out for sure. What's up, Gloomy? Greetings from Georgia. Awesome, man. Thank you so much for joining. What's up, Robert Lewis? Thank you so much for joining. Yes, I am Greek, Sebastian. Well, I mean, born in Australia, but Greek parents. I mean, look at my eyebrows. Come on. Thoughts on DOA beach volleyball? The original Xbox version, the 360 version, or the kind of the newly released version? I played the original Xbox version and the 360 version. I like those games, man. Team Ninja makes some bitchin' games, so I'm a fan of the DOA beach volleyball series. Is the N64 difficult because of MIPS? It's not really difficult to emulate the N64. I think the difficulty is getting the speed where it needs to be. What's up, Ricardo? Down in San Antonio. Awesome, man. Thank you for joining. What are some good games on the original Xbox besides Halo, GTA, San Andreas? Dude, there's like a million awesome games for the OG Xbox. Jet Set Radio Future. I mean, I love all the Sega titles for the OG Xbox. Halo 2, of course. Fable. Yeah, there's tons, man. Jade Empire. Awesome titles on the OG Xbox. Atoji, absolutely. I love Atoji. Good game. Knights of the Old Republic, yes. Can PlayStation 2 games be ported to the Vita? No. Not without source code. Don't think that's happening. Kevtris is doing Neo Geo next. That'd be awesome, Mike. I'd love to see FPGA Neo Geo. I think that'd be outstanding. Oh yeah, Ninja Gaiden. I mean, how did I forget that? Amazing. Why did I move to America? Dude, I moved to America about 15 years ago now. And I've been living here for a long time. I moved over here because I met my wife at the time. Obviously, she was my wife at the time, but was my girlfriend at the time, and I've been living here ever since. Outrun 2006, yes, great game. Pitfall 2 on the OG Xbox is awesome. Are you sad Sony killed the Vita? Yes, I am very sad that they killed the Vita. Very, very sad. Mortal Kombat on the OG Xbox, yes. If you mean Shaolin Monks, and yeah, I mean there's some good Mortal Kombat games. Do you think the FPGA accelerator cards become more common? We will see emulation become more mainstream. I think so, Nigel. I think that's a really good question. I think we will. You know, emulation is interesting to talk about because, I mean, if I was chatting with you guys like 6 or 7 years ago, a lot of people would be thinking that emulation is mostly about piracy. But these days, it has become more mainstream, and I think a lot of it has to do with, you know, obviously there's the retro and the nostalgia piece to it, but there's also the preservation side as well, which I think is really cool too. Nice videos. I found an OG Xbox debug kit with Metal Wolf Chaos installed on it. Do you think that copy was under... That's awesome, dude. It could well be a development version, so I would say make a copy of it just in case, but it also could mean that someone, you know, just downloaded it and installed it onto their debug kit. But I would definitely, I'd definitely hold on to that and reach out to someone about, you know, maybe having them take a look at it and see if it's a pre-release or a development version or something. That's interesting. Good find for sure. Mr. T and Crumpets, I think I remember you mentioning it briefly in a previous vid, but have you ever thought about doing a vid on OG Xbox DLC? I don't know if it warrants doing its own video on DLC, because I'm not sure if I could, you know, talk about DLC for you know, 15 minutes or so, but it may be something that I'm interested in doing for sure. I mean, I'm always looking at new topics for videos, especially with, you know, OG Xbox and stuff like that. Do you think the push for game streaming will inevitably end the same way as XBLA? Yeah, I think it will, Lane, unfortunately. That's a kind of a byproduct of game streaming and digital, you know, digital games these days, is that there will be games that get delisted and will kind of just disappear. And it's really up to us, you know, the community, to make sure that that doesn't happen. And I don't necessarily mean, you know, go after these companies. I'm basically saying if we can, make sure we preserve a copy of it and keep it on the cloud, you know, for future generations and things like that. I think it's important to do. I'm trying to get through these questions, guys. There's a lot. Vita is still a great homebrew device. Yes, it is, Gaming Bunny. The Vita is a fantastic handheld. Excited for Mortal Kombat 11? Yes, absolutely. And yes, I am getting the Switch version and the and the PC version. I am super pumped about Mortal Kombat 11. I cannot wait to play that game. I haven't been as excited about a Mortal Kombat game since like MK3 or something, you know, in the 90s. I'm pretty hyped about MK11. Will you be reviewing the Polymega? I think so. I mean, I haven't reached out to them and asked them, you know, to send me a review unit or anything. I'll probably just get my own anyway. I will say that the Polymega stuff is interesting because and for those people that have been following the Polymega, I have a lot of doubt. And initially I had a lot of doubt about whether the company was actually legit, whether this product was real. But to their credit and to be fair on them, the last few weeks they've really responded very, very well. So I think it's definitely a product that is worth taking a look at. So I'll probably get my own Polymega and take a look at it for sure. What's your favorite Unleash X skin? Just the default one, man. I love the default one. I know a lot of people don't, but I've always liked the kind of just the default one, the blue one. What's up, Platinum Gaming? Thank you for joining. Do you still have your Ouya? Yes, I do. I actually have an Ouya. I like it. I think they're pretty cool. Did you try on live when it was around? I did not, only because it was really expensive and stuff. So no, I never really tried it. More Switch videos. Yes, IoT DevNet. Yes, there's more Switch videos on the way for sure. Brian asks, how are you doing today? I'm doing very well, very, very well. Thank you for asking, and thank you for joining. Were you part of the Xbox Live community when the Halo 2 modding blew up? No, I was not. I wasn't really into the modding community. I was kind of doing my own thing and just doing homebrew stuff on the 360 and the OG Xbox. Pymania, very professional YouTuber right here. My inspiration for my channel coming soon. Awesome, Pymania. Hey, you should link your channel in the chat if it's if you have it. If you don't, that's cool. Yeah, no, that's awesome. I really appreciate the kind words, and good luck with your channel for sure. PlayStation 4 or Xbox One X for Cyberpunk 2077. I'll probably get the PC version, Ian, honestly. I don't have an Xbox One X. I have a PlayStation 4 Pro, but I'm going to want to play it on a PC. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Hey, thank you so much, Lambda, for joining, and I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. In Emmy Station, I can't save configurations of N64 games on Parallel Emulate after restarting. My configs are gone. Yeah, man, I'm not really privy on that stuff. Yeah, you may have to jump on a forum and ask as well. Ask that question. I'm not really sure I can help you about it. I can help you on that one. Mike, mate, I'm on the fence about the Polymega. Yeah, I think I am too, Mike. But I got to be honest. You know, like I said, the last kind of couple of weeks, they've really responded well. You know, a lot of people have kind of called them out on different things, and they've just kind of shut everyone down. So I'm kind of past the point where I don't believe they have a product. They absolutely have a product, but I will say that I'm a little concerned about how far along they are, because they do claim that they'll be, you know, releasing this later this year. But if you saw the videos of the Polymega that they were demoing at GDC, they still didn't have like the cartridge port on the design built in yet. And it looked like they were loading CD-based games, but I didn't see the cartridge stuff at all. So, you know, how far away truly are we from a release of the product? And that's the thing, I'm not really sure. So, but we'll see. How did you get into modding? Dude, I don't really know the answer to that. I just like messing around with stuff. I mean, I think that's the best answer I can give you. I know it's, pretty generic, but I just like playing around with and tinkering with stuff. I always like to know how things work, and that's really, really what it comes down to. Thoughts on the Master Chief Collection coming to Steam? I'm psyched about it, man. I can't wait for the MCC to come to the PC and Steam. I'm pretty excited for it to come. And I'll definitely be taking a look at that for sure. Is an Aurora for your Xbox 360 video coming soon in the future? Yes, yes, there is. Absolutely. There's more 360 content coming for sure. Matty Divine, do you play retro games on a PVM? I have a PVM in my game room, so yes, I do. I love my Sony PVM. Do you use 166 Hz for PC gaming? No, I do not. I've got a 4K 60 Hz display, and I got to get my hands on a 144 Hz display, but right now I've got the 60 Hz 4K display. Can the Xbox One be modded? No, Joel, at this time it cannot. Do you think there's any potential with emulation in VR? Absolutely. I mean, I think there's a lot of potential. I mean, I think there's stuff there that hasn't really occurred yet, and there's some interesting things that can be done there for sure. So yes, I do believe that there is some potential there. Absolutely. Wyatt asks, do you like Metroid? Dude, Super Metroid is one of my favorite games ever. I love Super Metroid. So yes, big Metroid fan. Yeah, new retro arcade. I've taken a look at that. That's pretty interesting. That's the one where you kind of walk around in the arcade and you play video games and stuff, and you play consoles. That's pretty cool. I like that. Virtual Boy emulator in VR would be baller. Yeah, it'd be good for sure. Your recent video on original Xbox as an emulator, will an Xbox 360 work as well? Which one are you talking about, Mark? I'm a little confused about which video you're talking about. I've done quite a few Xbox videos, as you know. Excited about future developments on N64 emulation? Yes, I am, Ross. Yes, I'm always excited about really any developments on any type of emulation, to be honest with you. Punky Dudester says, I'm a huge Metroid fan. I have all of them physically. Dude, that's awesome. I really only have, well, actually I can't show you right now, but I have Super Metroid physical, complete boxed. It was my original version of the game I bought back in the 90s. I have Metroid Fusion and Zero Mission on the Game Boy Advance. All of them complete. And of course, I've got the GameCube Metroid games as well. What happened to the dual Xeon system? I actually still have the system. It's actually downstairs in my basement, and it's my second PC. I still actually use it quite a lot. It's actually still a good system even to this day. I probably do need to do some updates to it. It's still got a GTX 970 in there as the graphics card, so it's getting a little out of date, but it's still holding up pretty well. Would you consider reviewing the Hyperkin Panorama HD cable for the OG Xbox? Chaz, is that just another HDMI cable for the original Xbox? I'm assuming. I probably would. I mean, I think I looked at the Pound cable like 6 months ago or something, and I thought that was interesting. There was a couple of issues with it, so yeah, I may take a look at it. What is your opinion on PC games ported to the Dreamcast? William, that's a good question. I haven't really spent that much time playing ported Dreamcast games to the PC, and I'm assuming you mean games like Jet Set Radio and Sonic Adventure and stuff. Haven't really had that much of a chance to take a look at the PC games, but I can tell you that I kind of feel like they'd be kind of straight ports without any enhancements to the PC. you know, like widescreen mode or, you know, better shaders or anything like that. So, but yeah, to be honest though, I haven't really had that much of a chance to take a look at it. Thank you so much for joining, Addy. I really appreciate you coming and stopping by. What's my job outside of YouTube? Dude, I work as an IT. I work in IT. So it's not really that exciting. I don't work in a games development company or anything like that. I have a pretty boring IT job. It's nothing exciting. What do you think about the analog SG? I'm assuming you mean the mini SG. I love the mini SG. It's awesome. I'm a big fan. What system would you recommend, mate, for the best N64, Saturn, and Dreamcast emulation? I mean, Khaled, I would say, you know, for those three, it's got to be a PC. But if you only wanted to spend a couple $100, the NVIDIA Shield TV will play all three of those systems pretty damn well. So take a look at the NVIDIA Shield TV. What's up, Gabriel? Thank you so much for joining. I am doing fantastic. I hope you're doing well. What do you think of Linux gaming or Linux gaming? I don't think that much of Linux gaming, man. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful for those people that game on Linux, but I mean, it always felt like they didn't really have anything worth playing. So, and please, you know, feel free to educate me on Linux gaming if I'm completely wrong. But I've dabbled with Linux before, but I've always gone back to Windows, quite honestly. Thank you so much, Alexander from Brazil. Thank you for joining. Would you take a look at the DSi? Yes, Summoner, I will take a look at the DSi. Are you into PC98 emulation? I am. I actually have a PC98 computer, so I'm very interested in PC98 emulation. In fact, I was going to take a look at it on the OG Xbox a couple of weeks ago because I know that there's an emulator available for it. So I'll definitely take a look at that. But I'm a fan of PC98, absolutely. You mentioned you studied C earlier. Do you know any other programming languages, and what would you recommend? Stephen, there's some really good languages to learn these days, things like Python and kind of scripting languages. But I guess my question is, what are you trying to get into? Do you want to develop like games and stuff like that? Because there's also things like Unity and Unreal Engine that can really help you with kind of game development. But if you just want to learn how to code, I don't know if I would recommend anything other than C, honestly. For me, but some folks in the chat may have differing opinions as well, but I'm kind of old school as well, so you know, there's that too to consider. Thank you so much. Some call me Vidal. What do you think about the new Xbox diskless console? I don't know how I feel about it yet, honestly. I want to see where this goes. I think my biggest concern about the Xbox diskless console that's coming out is maybe the price. I'm wondering how expensive it will be. If they keep the price good, then I think will be you know, worth checking out. But I also will say that they're basing the diskless console on the Xbox One S, which obviously isn't as powerful as the Xbox One X. So I'm not really sure, I guess, is my answer to that. Hopefully we'll see more at E3 announced. Thank you so much for the $5, Christopher. Thank you. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate the super chat. Thank you so much. Cloud Rick says assembly. Yes, assembly language is the way to go for sure, but it's also very, very difficult to learn, especially as your first language. Thank you so much, Bob and Ryan, for the super chats. Much appreciated. Good sirs. Assembly is for posers, a machine language or bust. Dude. Assembly is pretty damn hardcore, but I know you're just joking around there, erroneous click. 68K assembly forever. Dude, I'd love to learn 68K assembly, for sure. Have I dabbled with blockchain Hyperledger at work? Not really, Khaled. Not really my thing, man. Do you think the N64 Classic will be released anytime soon? Do you think it will be hackable? Dude, this is a good question, and let me give you my response to this. A lot of people are saying that Nintendo's working on an N64 Classic. I don't think they are, and I'll tell you why. Because emulating an N64 isn't difficult to do, but with the existing hardware they're using to emulate the Super Nintendo and the NES with the NES and SNES Classic, there is no way that they'll be able to get full speed N64 emulation running on those things. So they have to come to the table with some new hardware, which means that there's going to be some research and development that needs to be done in order to find I'm not saying it's a huge leap forward, but some additional hardware, which means that the cost would be more expensive. So I'm not saying we'll never see an N64 Classic, because that would be ridiculous to say, but I don't think we're going to see an N64 Classic announced this year, and maybe not even next year. I think we're a little bit away from the N64 Classic. What's Nintendo going to do next as far as a mini or a classic edition? I don't know. I mean, maybe they're not going to do anything. Maybe the Switch, the rumored Switch Lite and the Switch Pro is kind of be the big kind of hardware things that they release this year. But a lot of people think that it's easy just to do the N64 Classic and, put 20 games on there. As someone who's emulated an N64 before, I can tell you that, shit has to run perfectly. Otherwise, it won't be released. And there's a lot of games that have little glitches and little tweaks and little issues, little skips and jumps here and there. And Nintendo has to get it right. Otherwise, it's going to end up like the PlayStation Classic. And you know that Nintendo's not going to want to do that. So I think there's going to be a little bit more time needed before the N64 Classic comes out. It's a great question. What do I think of, is there a PSX emulator for the 3DS? I don't know if there's a PlayStation emulator for the 3DS, but it's something that I'm going to start looking into here pretty soon. What do you think is the future of the Switch Online? Trevor Harrison asks. Probably the way it's going right now. I don't think it's going to be any different, unfortunately, which is kind of a bummer because Nintendo's not really treating it with the respect that it deserves. I mean, it works, but they're not really doing anything special, so I don't really see it really changing much more than what it is now, unfortunately. I think they'd rather sell N64 games on the Switch rather than making an N64 Classic. I would agree. I mean, I think that makes sense, that they would kind of open up selling N64 games on the Switch. I think they'd make a killing doing that. And I would agree with that too. I'd rather play games on the Switch than have a Classic. Why is the PlayStation Classic such a failure? I don't really mind the PlayStation Classic, but I think at the end of the day, it was just a product that, had issues when it first released and it didn't really recover, unfortunately. I'm still waiting for the kind of inevitable price reduction to, $20 or something. I think it's like $39.99 right now. Would you make an episode telling the difference between emulation, cloning, FPGA ports? That's a really good question, Beastworm. Yeah, that may be something I consider. I think that's a great question. When is the Xbox 360 reset glitch hack tutorial coming? It's coming. Yeah, it's definitely something I want to do for sure. Retro Faix asked, did you delete your SoundCloud? Yes, I did. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but for those people that don't know, I had a SoundCloud account, and a lot of people ask me on my videos, what's that music that you're playing? And it's all music that I've done myself. Not all of it, because some of it I've used, obviously, from video games and stuff when I'm kind of showcasing or showing off a video game, but most of the music that you'll hear in my videos is stuff that I've made myself, and I used to host it on SoundCloud, but I actually got a copyright strike on one of my own songs. I'm not making this up. I mean, it's ridiculous, right? So, and I disputed it and I lost. So someone copyright struck my own song on SoundCloud, and my dispute was denied. So I thought, well, fuck this. I'm leaving. So I moved all my stuff to Bandcamp. And if you look at any one of my recent videos, just look in the description. The link to my Bandcamp page will be there. All my music is up there, so just check it out. Retro Arch on the Xbox One, any thoughts? I haven't looked at it yet, Pymania. I've seen a couple of YouTube videos from other people playing it. Looks interesting, but I haven't had the chance to take a look at it myself. What are your thoughts on Mario Maker 2? I can't wait. I want to check it out for sure. I think it's a stroke of genius that it's coming out for the Switch, and yeah, I'm going to probably pick it up on day one. Hey, what's up, Gear Seekers? Thank you so much for joining, man. Appreciate you stopping by. We got copyright striked on our own song the other day. Yeah, dude, I mean, I don't even know. You know, I don't even know. I mean, I think we're going to get to a point with YouTube where we're just going to make videos in complete silence because, I mean, any music that gets played, right? Whether you've created it yourself or it's from a video game or something, I mean, it gets flagged. It's ridiculous. I'm just waiting for the day where my videos get copyright strikes with my own songs. What's up, Lloyd Daniel? You are not late. You are here, buddy. You are here and in the moment. So thank you so much. Do you like the Yakuza games? Yes, I love the Yakuza games. I will say that I'm a little behind on the Yakuza series, but I will definitely check out the last couple that have come out for sure. And I can't wait to play the spin-off game that was just released in Japan. I can't remember the name of the game, and you guys know what I'm talking about. The one that just came out and it got kind of it got banned because one of the actors was a druggie or something. He did lots of coke, and they kind of stopped the game. I want to play that one really, really badly. I'm hanging out for that one. Hey, thank you so much, Darren Solomon. I appreciate it, man. I'm glad you're enjoying the OG Xbox emulators. Have you played any fan hacks of Super Metroid? No, I haven't. Honestly, I just rather play OG old school Metro or Super Metroid. Project Judgment, thank you so much, Sean and Senti. Yes, can't wait to play that game. MDK on the Dreamcast. Yeah, dude. If you're gonna play MDK, I would play it on a PC, like with DOSBox, or I would play it on the PlayStation 1. The PlayStation 1 port of MDK is actually pretty damn good, so I would check it out. But if you want to keep it kind of old school, I would play it on DOSBox with like a 3D effects patch or something. Favorite games you have on the OG Xbox? This question gets asked a lot. In fact, I think we talked about it just before, but man, there's so many good games on the OG Xbox. Can you recommend me a good MAME emulator for the PlayStation Vita? Retro Arch doesn't have good compatibility. Yeah, I mean, the Vita, unfortunately, probably doesn't have enough horsepower to emulate MAME very well, unfortunately. So I would say, yeah, you're not going to get the best experience there. Retro Arch is probably not the right emulator to play. Vita is amazing for homebrew stuff, but for emulation, it's probably not as good. Well, not probably. It's not as good as the Switch. Do you like Apex Legends? Lamboa, dude, I haven't even played it, honestly. I mean, I've got nothing against battle royale games, and I installed it on my PS4, but I've never actually launched the game. Do you think the video game market is crashing? No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Sean. It seems like things are really bad right now, but I don't think so, man. I mean, I think the cream still rises to the top. if you think about last year, you know, the really good games that we saw, and I'm talking about like God of War and Spider-Man, stuff like that. I mean, there's nothing wrong. The biggest issue is this whole live services stuff that's coming out right now, and you know, Anthem was a complete failure for that, and other games like that. So I'm hoping that everything will just kind of reset itself, and these developers or these publishers will start to realize that the future is not live services games. The future is good single player experiences, you know, good engaging multiplayer experiences. So we'll see. Good question though, for sure. Gaming is great these days. Not enough time to play. Absolutely, Eric. I wish I had more time to play games as well. Half-Life or Unreal? Oh man, that's a good question. Good question. Oh, I'd probably say Half-Life. I'm getting questions about the Google Stadia. I kind of answered that, or got questions at the start of the stream, but I'll answer it again for those people that just joined. I am on the fence about the Stadia. I'm not a big fan of streaming services, and that's what this is. So we'll see. I'd rather have physical stuff in my hand to play, but you know, we'll see. Unreal, dude. I'm not hating on Unreal. I love Unreal. You know, it's definitely a good game for sure. But Half-Life, I've got more nostalgia for Half-Life. You know what I mean? So, but Unreal is awesome. Did you see the stories of depression at BioWare? The staff are burnt out. If you're talking about Jason Schreier's article, Mike May, I haven't, but I'm going to read that probably tonight because it looks pretty interesting for sure. What's your favorite Resident Evil game? Resident Evil 2, not the remake, which I really liked. The original Resident Evil 2 is my favorite Resident Evil game. It's perfect. It's perfect. I like the remake a lot, the one that they just released. Played it, finished it. I thought it was great. But there's something about the original Resident Evil 2 that's just top-notch. Hey, MVG, loved your recent Switch Pro video. Thank you so much, Itchy. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate the kind words, man. Had a lot of fun making that video. It was funny because I released that video on April Fool's Day and I wasn't even thinking about it. And half the comments I got was like, is this an April Fool's joke? I'm like, dude, no, this is like legit. What the hell, you know? But it was a fun video to put together for sure. Resident Evil 2, N64, PS1. I like both ports pretty well. I also like the GameCube port a lot. In fact, if I had to pick a port of Resident Evil 2, I'd probably pick the GameCube port. But if you're talking about kind of the original Resident Evil 2 games, I'd take the PlayStation 1. Any remote recommendations for the GCN Mark II Aeon? Not really sure, Emmanuel. Yeah, I'm not really sure about what the best remote to get is, but I think, you know, any kind of generic remote will work fine. Do you think you'll do anything else with the PSX DVR? Virgil, I probably will make more videos on the PSX DVR for sure. Haven't really thought about what that would be, but I did get some feedback last time about free MC boot on it, so we'll see. A lot of people weren't sure about how to get free MC boot to work. They kind of felt like my video didn't really explain it too well, so I may go back and take a look at that. Thank you so much, Dark Nova. Oh, Amyton TV, thank you so much, man. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you stopping by. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you for stopping by. Have you ever visited Japan? I have not, but it's definitely on the list, man. I definitely want to go for sure. And when I say I want to go, I mean, I'd like to go maybe in the next kind of 12 to 18 months. It's definitely a place I definitely want to go to. Did you play Metro Exodus on the PC? I have not, Matrix. I'm probably going to wait for the inevitable price drop. So when that happens, I will pick up the game. I just didn't feel like it was worth $60, and I'm not saying it's not a good game. It's really more about me in that I don't have as much time to play video games as I do anymore. Like, for example, last week I bought The Division 2 on Steam. I'm sorry, on on Uplay, and I've installed it, but I've never played it. And I've heard Division 2 is a good game, so you know that's kind of what my life is at right now. Rookie, what age did you start learning homebrew? Probably around 18 or 19, I would say. What Forza game do you like? Man, I like them all. I mean, I like the early ones better, I guess, but Forza is such a great franchise. There's a charm about all of those Forza games. So it's hard for me to pick one that's kind of a standout, but maybe Forza 4 is my favorite. But I really like Forza 3 as well. But if I had to pick one, it would be Forza 4. What emulator port are you most proud of? It's a good question, Rivalry. I'd probably say Surreal 64 on the OG Xbox. I go back and play it, and honestly, I'm like, how the hell did we get Nintendo 64 working on an OG Xbox? I mean, it was pretty crazy. That and Killer Instinct, I think, are my two favorite ports that I was most proud of. Forza Horizon 3, Mike May, yes. It's pretty good driving around in Australia in Forza Horizon 3. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Sean. I appreciate the kind words, man. I was also always passionate about the original Xbox since it came out. How do you introduce yourself to the Xbox hacking, and what programming language do you know? I know C, C++, a bit of assembly language. Yeah, man, I don't know what else to tell you. I just started getting my hands dirty, and that's really how it all went. Rivalry, do you ever play the Soul series? Yes. Yes, I do. I haven't played Sekiro yet, but I'm definitely going to pick that up. I played Bloodborne and finished it. I've played all the Dark Souls games. I've beaten all of them. But yeah, Sekiro is definitely something I want to check out for sure. Thank you so much, Sean15, for the kind words. Oh man, there's so many awesome people in the chat tonight. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. Really appreciate it. I know I need to do live streams more, but I just wanted to chat with you guys and hang out for a while. What's up, Steve from New Zealand? Awesome. Thank you for joining, man. I was actually in Auckland last year, so I love New Zealand, man. It's an amazing place. Thanks, Faraz, for hanging out, man. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Lockie. What is the rarest game that you own? I don't really know, man. I've got some pretty rare stuff in my game room, but I mean, I'm not really like a collector or anything like that, but I've got some stuff. I may do like a game room tour at some point and show you some of the stuff that I got. What do you think about the episodic release idea of the Final Fantasy VII remake? I don't really like episodic releases of anything, so I'd rather them just dump the whole thing or nothing at all. I think it really took away from something like Hitman, which I'm a big fan of the Hitman series, but the way that they kind of released those in episodes, I was like, really? You know, how many episodes are there? And, you know, games like Life is Strange and stuff like that never really got into the whole episodic thing. It just kind of felt like they were just kind of shitting out episodes as they went and didn't really have the full game completed at the time. So yeah, not really a fan of episodes. Thanks, Cheetah. I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dude in Frames. I appreciate it. I'm thinking about getting a PlayStation 3 to homebrew. What should I get for it? RetroArch is really good on the PlayStation 3. In fact, RetroArch was originally developed on the PlayStation 3. So that tells you that it's pretty quality stuff. There's some good homebrew to check out on the PlayStation 3. I would definitely recommend you do that. But RetroArch is definitely a must. There's a good media player on the PlayStation 3 as well. So definitely some good stuff there for sure. Ford or Holden? Dude, I'm a Holden guy, Colin. Holden all the way. I used to have a VC Commodore back when I lived in Australia. What are you talking about? I'm a Holden guy for sure. Thanks, A1 Chemist, for the super chat. Rarest game I have is Haunting Ground. I actually have Haunting Ground for the PlayStation 2. I also have a copy of Rule of Rose for the PlayStation 2. But, I mean, you know, those games are like $200 games, I guess. I don't even know the value of this stuff, honestly. But, you know, some of these collectors have like $1,000 games and $5,000 games and stuff like that. I'm not really that type of person. Thank you, Miss Mad Lemon. I really appreciate you stopping by. Yeah, you should do one on Saturday. I will be sure to stop by if you do one on Saturday for sure. Yes, absolutely. Give me the whole game or nothing. Absolutely. None of this episode shit. It's like watching like Game of Thrones, right? You watch an episode and you want to know what's going to happen next, but you have to wait, you know. But with episodic games, you have to wait like a month or something, you know, sometimes 2 months. So, not a fan. Does Wii run N64 smooth? Wii runs N64 pretty well. I wouldn't say it's like, you know, crystal smooth or, you know, 60 FPS all the way, but Wii runs N64 pretty well for sure. Rarest game you own is Halo 2 Alpha. Dude, that's pretty rare for sure. Do you play Pokemon Go? Never played it, man. Never got into it. Did you ever play any of the Ace Combat titles? Yes, I love Ace Combat, and Ace Combat 7 on the PlayStation 4 is ridiculously good. Love, love, love Ace Combat. Thank you so much for bringing it up, man. Big fan of the Ace Combat series. I have to go do a video upload to my channel, but if you're still live, I'll be back. Thank you so much for stopping by, Nathan. Yeah, I may still be here when you get back. I'm not sure, but good luck, and yeah, you should link to your channel before you leave. I'll check it out for sure. Have you replaced an Xbox One hard drive? I have not, dude. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm not really a fan of the Xbox One. I know, you know, I'm this big Microsoft fanboy and Xbox and everything, but Xbox One, it's kind of lost on me, honestly. And it pains me to say that. It really does. You know, I don't say those things, you know, but Xbox One is I never really got behind the platform. It never really resonated with me the same way that the Xbox original and the 360 has. So probably gonna lose half the chat now that I said that, but I'm just being honest, you know, I'm just calling it how it is. Thank you so much for the $5. You are a C-Ute guy, believe it guy. What if another comp created a console for Sega? Ever hear of the Althea Games Razor? Dude, I'm not really sure what you're asking me there, man. What if another company created a console for Sega? Dude, I'm all about more consoles, so I'd definitely be interested in that for sure. Hey MVG, as a man of a technical background, do you tend to find that you enjoy modifying, developing, and generally tinkering with consoles more than you do actually playing games? Man, Octagon, that is a great question. Yes, I do. I mean, it's all about the, you know, it's all about the discovery. It's all about the victories, you know. I mean, I love playing games, right? I mean, I am a gamer. I mean, there's the word gamer in my tag or in my name, but yeah, I mean, for me, it's all about the thrill of the, you know, the discovery and the work and stuff like that. So, do you have a console that you're hating? I'm not really I don't dislike anything, really. I mean, I like pretty much any console that's out there. I even like the 3DO and the Jaguar and stuff like that. In fact, I really like the 3DO. It's a guilty pleasure of mine for sure. Atari 5400. Never had an Atari 5400. But yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely systems that I like less than others, but you know, hate is a pretty strong word, I guess. So, what is the best Sega console, dude? Man, it's got to be the Saturn, right? Sega Saturn. I mean, they're all awesome in their own way. The Genesis was awesome. The Mega Drive, the Saturn, the Dreamcast. I mean, if you ask me when I stream again the same question, I may tell you something else. So, you know, Sega just made some great hardware. Do you like pinball? Did you go to uni? I do like pinball. I'm not really a huge pinball fan. I like kind of the classics like Addams Family and Revenge from Mars and kind of the big pinball names that everyone knows. I did go to uni. Yes, I went to uni in Melbourne many years ago. What do you think of the new Toe Jam and Earl game? I've pre-ordered it from Limited Run, and once it gets here, I'll definitely check it out. I love Toe Jam and Earl for sure. Yes, the Sega Naomi is good arcade hardware. I love the Naomi. Thank you so much for the $10, Mohammed. Much appreciated, kind sir. Dreamcast and Samba DME. Yeah, man, absolutely. What's the best console for modding? Dude, I would say like an original Xbox, a Wii. Either of those two, you can't go wrong. The Switch is pretty good these days. For handhelds, the Vita, the 3DS. I mean, take your pick, man. It really depends on what you're into. Are you planning on making a DSi homebrew video? Yes, I am. Yes, there's more DSi and there's a 3DS video that's coming as well. Have you tried making your own game? I've dabbled with some stuff. I will say, I haven't actually tried to make my own game, but I've kind of done my own demos and stuff like that. But yeah, it's a commitment to write your own game. Do you plan on doing game reviews someday? Not really. And I think someone asked me this question at the start of the stream. No, not really. I don't think so. And not because I'm not interested in games. I'm very interested in games, but there's a lot of good people that are reviewing video games on YouTube. So there's really no reason for me to kind of step into that kind of area. I'm pretty happy doing, you know, what I do. Die Hard Arcade, yes. Emmanuel is takes after me. Die Hard Arcade is the shit. What game franchise would you bring back from the dead? Dude, I would bring back... Oh, man, that's a good question. Jet Set Radio. I mean, Ninja Gaiden, Fable. I mean, Scalebound. I mean, dude, where do I start? There's so many good franchises. Rally Sport Challenge. So many of them. I don't even know where to start. What do you guys think about franchises, dead franchises? There's so many good ones. Microsoft are sitting on all these like OG Xbox franchises they've done nothing with, and it frustrates the hell out of me. And I want to see them come back with some more stuff. And I'm not talking about Crackdown, because Crackdown 3 was a piece of garbage. I want to see some good shit. Yes, Rally Sport Challenge, yes. See? The chat knows what's up, for sure. Phantasy Star, Jet Set Radio, Power Stone. Are you kidding me? Comic Zone. Comic Zone was awesome. Absolutely. And hey, thanks for joining, Private Hudson. I see you in the chat there, buddy. Daytona USA, Half-Life 3. I mean, we're never going to get Half-Life 3. It's a fucking meme at this point. I mean, come on. You know, they keep teasing it and there's all these different things. Splinter Cell? Dude, where the hell is the next Splinter Cell game? I want Splinter Cell. Midtown Madness 3, yes. Needing you Midtown Madness 3 game. Crimson Skies? Absolutely. Banjo-Kazooie? Absolutely. For sure. Sin. Dude, Sin was an awesome FPS. I love the hell out of that game. Dino Crisis? Yes. We need another Dino Crisis game, or Dino Crisis. especially after the terrible Xbox original game. The Suffering. Ooh, Suffering was good, man. Good game, for sure. For sure. Legacy of Kain, yes. I mean, why aren't these games being, looked after and made? We can only hope that, like, THQ Nordic, like, buys up all these franchises. I was happy to see that they bought up Time Splitters, because I would love another Time Splitters game. So hopefully THQ Nordic does something with the Time Splitters franchise. Bubsy? Isn't there a Bubsy game that's coming out? F-Zero, yeah. F-Zero is another game like Half-Life 3 that I just don't know there'll ever be another F-Zero game. And I don't know why Nintendo doesn't release one. It doesn't make any sense to me. I wish they would. Infamous. Infamous is a good... Dude, Infamous was awesome. I never really understood why they didn't release another Infamous game. Infamous was the game that made me get a PlayStation 4 Pro. I really like Infamous. Hey, thank you so much for the Super Chat, Endurance. What made you move from Australia to America? Was it the lack of programming jobs? Also, what type of job do you have? No. So I moved to America about 15 years ago because I met my girlfriend at the time and we got married. So, yeah, I live here now, and, well, not now. I mean, I lived here for a long time. So I moved here for love. I didn't move here for a job. There's actually a lot of IT and programming jobs over here in the US. And when I worked in Australia, I lived in Melbourne at the time. So there was a lot of work down there as well. So, no, I didn't move for lack of programming jobs. But, yeah, hopefully that answers that question. F-Zero GX with Sega and Nintendo collab. Yes, absolutely. F-Zero GX is the shit. What's up, Nick Newton? Perfect Dark on N64. Yeah, for sure. I want to see another GoldenEye game. I don't know if we'll ever see one of those either. Is there a retro console that you can't get into? Not really. I mean, apart from like clone systems and stuff, there's kind of cheapy clone systems. I can pretty much get into anything. Anything that has some good games for it, I'll definitely check out. It's hard to bring back old franchises because of the expected level of graphic fidelity the public wants. Yeah, I mean, that SPK, that's a good point. A lot of the times, we think about old franchises with kind of rose-tinted glasses because they were so awesome back in the day. But it doesn't necessarily mean they translate very well to 2019. But I also think that there's a lot of games that should come out or be, unearthed, because I think a lot of them would still play and be awesome to this day. So, but it's a very, very good point. Digital versus physical media. Physical all the way, man. Physical all the way. Anyone else looking forward to Wolfenstein Youngblood? Yes, I am. I'll definitely check it out, Emmanuel. Wolfenstein's is one of those franchises that I've played every single one of them. So for sure. What do you think of the PC Engine TurboGrafx? Dude, I love that system. Love the hell out of that system. I think the games are stupid expensive because the resellers have got a hold of that system. But if you have something like the Super System SD3 or the Super SD System 3 that allows you to play games off the SD card, that's all you need, man. Hey, thank you so much, Miss Madeleine, for joining, and you have a good night. And make sure you live stream on Saturday. I'll stop by. MVG, love your channel. Do you think your opinion on these gaming services has anything to do with the Wii Shop shutting down? I hate how nothing is permanent anymore. Yes, Bren, dude, I agree with you. But I will say that, even though the Wii Shop is no longer around and Xbox Live on the OG Xbox is no longer around, you can always get, you can always download stuff. People are pretty good about preserving things and making sure that they're available. So you can find the entire Wii Shop, games online and download them pretty easily. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, but they are available out there for sure. Do you ever play with Windows 98 PCs? I have a Windows 98 PC. It's a retro DOS machine that I mess around with. So yes, I do. I haven't really looked at it for a while, but I'll definitely take a look at it. You know, at some point in the coming months for sure. Would you expect a hardware update on the Shield TV? I did read last week that there were some rumors about that, but then I read another article that it was just the controller and the remote control. So I'm a little confused whether it's actually a hardware update of the Shield TV, but man, I would love if they updated the Shield TV. I think that would be really cool. Playing Switch games online can get you banned with mod. Yes, it can, Matrix. Do not do it. I would suggest, and I know, you know, it's easier said than done, but I suggest you have two switches. You have the modded one that you keep in airplane mode, and then you have your regular one for, you know, what you do with your online stuff. Love your channel. Keep up the good work. Thank you so much, Moser. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I wish they would make a prototype 3. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely agree. MVG team, yeah, I am Team Windows, man. I'm a Windows guy. I've always been a Windows guy. MVG, do you think Microsoft should make handhelds? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, maybe. I think they just need to figure out this shit when it comes to the hardware that they have. So I'm kind of quietly confident for the next gen, and we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, I think they're in a Microsoft is in a good position right now to really kickstart the next generation with all the studios that they've acquired, and I'm assuming they're already developing on the next Xbox as far as games and stuff. So we'll see, man. You know, get your hardware together first, and then we'll talk about, you know, handhelds and stuff like that. So Ace Harding, love your content, jealous of the Neo Geo long sleeve. Thank you, man. I got that from like a website. I don't think they're that hard to find. I'm pretty sure you can still buy them, but yeah, I love that Neo Geo long sleeve. I'll definitely have to bust it out for another video. What do you think about the N-Gage? I never had it. I never had an N-Gage Senti, but I mean, people that say that they had one actually said the games were pretty good on it. So I don't know, man. I wouldn't mind getting one for the channel to mess around with, but it's a bit of a gimmick, I guess. What's the opinions on the Genesis Mini? I'm pretty excited about it. I pre-ordered one. I'm sure like many others have as well. I think it will be a good piece of hardware. I hope it won't be like the PlayStation Classic. I don't think so, but I'm pretty excited about it for sure. Do I own a Neo Geo AES? Yes, I do, Emmanuel. I don't own... I only have about 4 AES Neo Geo games, though, because, as you probably know, Neo Geo AES is extremely expensive to buy for. What's up, Iron Maiden? Thank you, man. I appreciate the kind words. Hi, what type of emulators would the Xbox One be able to push using libretro? I haven't looked at libretro or RetroArch on the Xbox One, but from what I've been told and what I've seen, it actually runs some pretty good stuff. So I think it's pretty powerful. Definitely worth checking out if you're interested. Have you tried the Xbox 360 wireless controllers for the Xbox original? I have not, but I've been approached by someone that is going to send me one to take a look at, so I'll definitely check that out. I'm interested for sure. Do you prefer arcade Tekken or console Tekken? I prefer arcade Tekken, Virgil. I actually have a Tekken Tag Team arcade board, which I really, really like, but I mean, console Tekken's pretty awesome too. I mean, Tekken 3 on the PlayStation, the later Tekkens obviously are really awesome too. Hey MVG, did you know that the downside is when using component cables for OG Xbox is when playing it for 80i because the black levels look great? Yeah, I mean, I've seen that Golden Jupiter. I don't think it's that big of a deal, but I know what you're saying 480i looks a little wishy-washy with the OG component cables for sure. Thank you so much, Arthur, for the kind words. Thank you for stopping by, and I really appreciate it. Need to get a Neo SD AES. Yeah, for sure, man. I've got the Neo SD MVS, which is really awesome. I love that thing. But yeah, I need to get one of those Neo SDs. Thank you so much for the kind words, Arlton. Hopefully I pronounced your name there correctly. Do you have any prototype beta hardware? Not really, Nostalgia Box. I've got some dev kits and debug kits, but not really. I wish I did. I wish I had more. Like, I really want to get my hands on like a Katana dev kit for Dreamcast, but I mean, prices of stuff these days are ridiculous expensive, so I'm not really prepared to spend like $3,000 on something, you know, that I'm going to mess around with for maybe, you know, like, yeah, a few hours a week on or something. So. Well, hey, thanks for stopping by, A1 Chemiso. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Thanks for the super chat. Up your size, much appreciated. Loki says, honestly, I'd rather any good franchise be long gone until they can do something really good and not companies keep milking them because people beg for it. Absolutely. Totally agree. Totally agree, Lockie. Speaking of Dreamcast, are there any forks of Bleemcast or similar projects? I'm not really sure, SPK. Not really sure. I haven't really taken a look at that stuff for a while. I'm selling beer. Who wants one? Dude, I'll take a beer. I'll take all of those beers that you just pasted there in the chat. How is the Xbox 360 emulation scene going? Love your videos, by the way. If you're talking about Xenia on the PC, I think it's going pretty well. Things have gone a little quiet because I guess a lot of people think that Master Chief Collection coming out on the PC means that Xenia is no longer being developed, but there's still some good stuff coming out for Xenia, so things are moving along for sure. Any up-and-coming videos about 3DS Homebrew? Yes, absolutely. There is a 3DS Homebrew video coming for sure. It's probably one of my most requested videos right now, so yes. Apple or Android? Android, man. I was an Apple guy for many, many years, but Apple's kind of lost it for me the last, like, 5 years or so. Yes, I am going to cover the PS3 emulator. RPCS3, yes. It's definitely one that I want to focus on for sure. I was going to wait a little just for some, you know, for some updates to compatibility before I covered it, because I really want to, you know, I want to do it right. So there's definitely, it's definitely something I want to take a look at for sure. I got a Game Boy G-Dev. Awesome, man. I'm super jealous. I would love to get my hands on the G-Dev. Do you like CoinOps? Yeah, I like CoinOps, Vlad. Brittany Pears, he's done a pretty good job with that stuff. But the thing about CoinOps for me is it takes forever to set up properly. But then again, I mean, you've got that many games and ROMs and stuff running, so it's always going to take some time. Thank you, man. Thank you, Flair. My haircut is looking pretty good, right? OSSC or FrameMeister? Ross, that's a great question. Originally, I would say that the FrameMeister was better. In fact, I did a video comparing the two, and I kind of came out and said the FrameMeister was superior. But I got to be honest, I use my OSSC like every single day. And with the updates that they keep making to it, the OSSC just kills the FrameMeister. So in terms of price and performance and features, go the OSSC, man. The FrameMeister is cool. I still have mine. But the OSSC is like the shit. You can't beat it, for sure. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people say the same thing, that they wish they went with an OSSC. I know that, like, there's, like, clone ones that are being made right now in China that are cheaper than the kind of official ones. But I've also heard that keep away from them because the build quality isn't very good. But I'm also thinking about picking up one of those kind of cheaper OSSCs and seeing what it looks like on the channel. Mr. Mario's here. Thank you for joining, brother. CoinUps takes forever to set up. I thought it was just drag and drop into the drive. Dude, maybe it is, but I don't know, man. Setting those things up always takes a long time for me. Game Tink. I want to get my hands on a Game Tink for sure. I don't have one. I'll probably get one eventually because my N64 stuff doesn't look very good on anything. So I think the Game Tink is definitely something I want to check out. The Blockosaurus. I commented this on a video once, but your voice is really relaxing and makes me want to watch all your awesome videos all over again. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm glad my voice is making you feel relaxed. The PS2 image quality is horrible on anything. Yeah, PS2 image quality is hard to really dial in. I will say that on the PSX DVR, the video quality is actually better for PS2 captures, but it's still, it's still not very good. Thanks, Flair the Taco. Love your videos on the GameCube and the Wii. Your videos are interesting, and I can't wait for the future content. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Wii or GameCube? I'm going to have to go with the GameCube, Waffle King. I like the Wii, though. Don't be twisted on this. I'm a big fan of the Wii. ASMR when? No, I don't think... Dude, I only talk at one volume, and that's this volume, so I don't know if I could do ASMR videos. Xbox may be great for emulation, but can you do a video covering current emulators that work on Android? Maybe, Aaron. It might be something I may take a look at. Do I own any Sony PVMs or BBMs? Yes, I do. I have a 20-inch 20-inch PVM. It's pretty awesome. My volume is best for ASMR. Do you have any do you 4.3 or retro content on modern displays? Yes, absolutely. If you run 16:9 on a retro system on a modern TV, you need to turn that shit to 4.3 immediately. I can't deal with 16:9. Will there be a chance of FPGA replica of the N64? I'm sure there's a chance, Johnny, but I think it's going to be pretty complicated to do. Thanks for the $5, Mr. Mario. Hey, thanks for the $1.99, Ross, and Smef99. I love shopping at Kmart, dude. Kmart's awesome. I wish Kmart was still around. Anyone playing a retro console in 16:9 should be slapped. Well, I don't know if I'd slap anyone, but I would just grab the remote out of their hands and flick it over to 4:3. Black borders kill me. Dude, I think having a stretched image kills me worse than black borders, but to each their own. I respect it, man. If, I get it. I get it for sure. Can you play GameCube games online? Yes, you can. The problem with GameCube games online is that you need the broadband adapter, and like the Dreamcast broadband adapter, they're not really that hard. They're hard to find, and they're expensive for no real reason, so a lot of people just don't bother. But yes, you can play Mario Kart online on a GameCube with like X-Link and stuff like that. What video games are you currently playing? Not much right now. I'm playing my Mega SG, which is in the top right hand corner, which I actually haven't played at all tonight, but that's what I'm really playing, the Mega SG. I'm going back to old school, playing my Genesis games. I'm gonna play Sekiro here pretty soon. I'm gonna pick that up for the PS4, but not much. I was talking on the chat before about I picked up Division 2. I paid full price for it. I've installed it on my PC, but I've never launched it, so I haven't really been playing too many video games. But I kind of go through phases as well, so you know. But right now it's all about the Mega SG. Rocket Knight. Rocket Knight's a good game. Yeah, I'm a fan of Rocket Knight Adventures. Do you plan on playing Borderlands 3? Yes, I do. But it's interesting people talk about Borderlands 3 because there's so much hype about the game. But man, I went back and played Borderlands 2, and again, I'm probably going to annoy some people in the chat, and I apologize, but Borderlands 2 hasn't aged very well. And I know I'm going to get hate from someone, but like trying to drive, you know, trying to control the cars, the vehicles and stuff, it's like, man, I don't know. I kind of like the original Borderlands, but I like the original Borderlands better than Borderlands 2, put it that way. But it absolutely is. I mean, it's great with friends. As a solo game, it's like, it's pretty cool, but yeah, I mean, I'm going to play Borderlands 3 for sure. For sure. Do you play Master System or just Mega Drive? I don't know if you saw my Mega SG video, but I never really grew up with Master System, and if anyone can recommend me some good Master Systems games, I'll definitely check it out. I know there's some good ports of like Shinobi and stuff like that. Sonic, I'm sure, runs really well on the Master System, but is there any like Master System exclusive games that aren't on the Mega Drive that people recommend? Because I'll definitely take a look. It's really more about what to play on the Master System more than anything. Borderlands 2 on the Vita. It's an interesting port. It's pretty slow, but with the overclocking, it's not too bad. What's your favorite Super NES game? It's Super Metroid, hands down. It's got to be Super Metroid, man. Which is more awesome, the Mega SG or the Super NT? Ah, man, that's a good question, Johnny. I like both of them. I think right now, because I've got this, I'm still in the honeymoon period with the Mega SG. I like that system more, but I actually played the Super NT like last night, and I mean, I would probably say that the Mega SG is better, only because, and it's not really the fault of the Super NT, only because, you know, you can plug it in and play Sega CD and, you know, and stuff like that. It's just, it feels like more of a complete package than the Super NT, but, you know, no disrespect to the Super NT because it's pretty damn good too. Chrono Trigger is the best Super NES game. Yeah, Chrono Trigger is awesome. Contra 3 is pretty badass too. Mega SG is better. Smoke Monster says, I would agree. I mean, I think, you know, 6 months from now when I sit down and both of them have, you know, have kind of come and gone, I would say the Mega SG is better. It just feels like more of a comprehensive, complete system, complete package. Can the Xbox 360 be soft modded? No, it cannot. Do you think Analog will make N64 next? No. I think, and someone in the chat was talking about Neo Geo next, so I don't know what Analog is going to do next. We'll see, man. We'll see. I don't think N64 is next, though. Maybe it's TurboGrafx or PC Engine. But of course, you know, there's other FPGA solutions for that. Who knows, man? We'll see. But I don't think N64 is it. What's going on? What's going on with Polymega? I heard they're no longer using FPGA. That's correct. They're using emulation. They did some kind of closed door stuff at GDC like last week, and we'll see, man. We'll see what they bring to the table. I think they have a product, but it's still like we're not really sure yet. So we'll see what they come back with. Oh, Alex Kidd, yeah, that's definitely one game that I would check out for sure on the Master System. Mario Maker 2 is going to be good. I can't wait for Mario Maker 2, man. I'm psyched about it. The TurboGrafx 16 can still be found. Well, I mean, on eBay you can probably find TG16 systems. Kevtris said that the N64 was beyond what he felt he could do. I mean, that's probably accurate. N64 would be very complex to FPGA. Yeah, Roni's Click said that the only soft mod exploit was the King Kong exploit, And it was patched with a quickness, absolutely. What about some news about Shenmue 3? I don't really have anything to say about Shenmue 3 except I can't wait for that game to come out because I'm a huge fan of that series. I'm going to play it for sure. Do you have a Sega Saturn? Yes, I do. I love the Saturn. Big fan of the Saturn. What system is that top right? Oh, top right, that's the Mega SG. That's the Mega SG that I have right here. I haven't played anything on it tonight. I've just been chatting with you guys. What was the exploit that soft modded the DVD drive? On the Xbox 360, originally there were firmware hacks, or hacked firmwares that you would flash on the Xbox 360 DVD drive that would allow you to play burnt games. And it will allow you to play burnt games on Xbox Live as well. And Microsoft quickly got a hold of that and started banning consoles and accounts as a result of that. Crash Team Nitro. Yeah, I can't wait for Crash Team Nitro. Well, Crash Team Racing, I should say. I'm pretty stoked about that. Mad Wolf Studios, just want to say thanks for the content. It's amazing. You're a great inspiration for me. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate you. I appreciate the kind words, and thank you for stopping by, man. I really appreciate it. How is the GameCube homebrew scene these days? To be honest, it's pretty kind of stagnant, but there's still a very small but I guess passionate community. The thing about the GameCube homebrew community is when the Wii came out, it kind of ate its lunch because there's a lot of homebrew ports that work on both systems, what are developed for both systems and emulators. But the problem is they've all been targeted for the Wii. Even though you can run them on the GameCube, they don't really take advantage of any of the GameCube's strengths. So typically they run like shit, and that's kind of unfortunate. So as a result, the GameCube homebrew scene has kind of died a little bit, but it's still pretty good. Does the Mega SG run homebrew? Yes, it does. Yes. You inspired me to get a Dreamcast after so many years. Dude, I'm glad you got a Dreamcast because it's an awesome system. Hey MVG, can I mention web links in your chat? You can try it, Emmanuel. Do you like the Castlevania games? Yes, I do, Wyatt. Big fan. What OG Xbox do you play the most? Do you mean like the console, like the different variations of the console? I usually, if that's what you're asking, I usually just prefer the 1.4 gigahertz one that I have. You always unsoldered clock capacitors in Xboxes, never replace them. Why? I don't really see any reason to replace the clock capacitor. I mean, it's not really, to me, it's not really that important for the system to keep time. So I think it's just as easy just to remove them. Maybe someone else that knows Xbox modding stuff can chime in on that. But I'm not really there to. It's not really there just to to get the time back. It's really there just to make sure that the system is preserved so it doesn't die. Have you tried the XBMC emulation station thing? Yes, I have. I made a video on it. If you look at I did a video on it a couple of weeks ago, so you should check it out. I think it was the one that was called $10 Original Xbox. Check it out because I walked through the entire XBMC emu station stuff. Have you heard about the Ouya system? I have heard about the Ouya system. I haven't heard good things about it though. Google Stadia, do you think it's going to be good? I don't know, Crazy Hand. Why doesn't Analog SG support the 32X? I think it can support the 32X. I think there was probably a lot of time and complexity that was needed to do so, and I think they really just wanted to bring this product out to market this year, which makes sense to me. Do you have a PVM? Yes, I do. Do you recommend getting one in 2019? Only if it's cheap. right now the cost of CRT, like BVMs, PVMs, and things like that, are just ridiculous. I mean, you look on eBay for like a 14-inch or a 19-inch CRT, and it's like $500. Like, what the hell? You know, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, I wouldn't pay anywhere near that much money. So my advice is, if you come across or you have a line on a PVM or a BVM and you can get one for a good price where you don't feel like you're being ripped off, then absolutely it's worth it. Absolutely. CRT VGA monitor is a good substitute. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a good VGA monitor will absolutely go a long way. Waiting for Metroid Prime 4 in 2020. Yeah, that's a bummer that they pushed that game. But you know, I don't have a problem with dev studios, you know, pushing games in order to maintain good quality. Yeah, BVMs fetch even more than PVMs for sure. Yeah, Smoke Monster says once the DAC comes out, 32X could be possible. I agree. I mean, I really feel like they wanted to get the Mega SG out to the masses. I mean, 32X would be sweet to have, but it should not be something that would hold them back from releasing the product. I think they made the right choice in getting the Mega SG released, and now they can, you know, come back and follow up with a patch or something. What's up, Game Dev 1909? Thanks for joining. Do you have any tips on relocating a game collection? I have to find a way to safely move a ton of different things. Can you kind of elaborate on what you're trying to do? Are you trying to like move it out of storage, or? But I guess in general, just, you know, be meticulous, man. Use like plastic tubs and stuff like that. Don't just throw everything in a box and hope it's gonna survive. But I also, you know, I guess I need to know how much stuff you're thinking about moving. I hope you do more live streams like this. Pretty chill. I'll try, man. I always have good intentions to do more live streaming, and I did tell, like, the last time I did a live stream I was going to do it like once a month, and you know, here we are, like, you know, in April. So I will try to do more live streams because I really want to, you know, hang out with you guys more for sure. What's up, Anthony Redfern? Thanks, man. How you doing? Thanks for joining the chat. Do you know of Amiga OS 4.1? Yes, I have Amiga OS 4.1. Playing Super Mario Sunshine on Dolphin. Awesome. I love Mario Sunshine. Awesome game. What do you think about the Genesis Mini? I pre-ordered one, so we'll see, man. Hopefully it'll be a good product. I think it will be. I don't think it will be the same as the PlayStation Classic. I think Sega will do a good job with the product, and we'll see. Hopefully the emulation is good. M2 is doing the emulation, so it all is geared up to be a very solid product. So we'll definitely check it out. I should have live streamed yesterday. That would have been hilarious. Because yeah, good April Fool's joke, huh? Moving to a new house. Oh man, 700 items between games, old and new, NFC figures. Yeah, I would just take your time. And I'm not really sure if you have to move everything all at once, but if you can, I would just kind of slowly start moving things as you go. Does jailbreaking your Switch make you lose Nintendo Online? It does not make you lose Nintendo Online, but I would not recommend that you use your Nintendo Online if it's modded. I would keep it in airplane mode, just to make sure. How hard is Semu to set up? It's pretty easy. It's pretty easy to set up. I think the hardest part is finding good dumps of the games, or being able to dump the games. Thanks for the £5, Anthony. I'll make sure I get some Christmas socks. They do have holes in them. I'm pretty sure they do by now. Do you plan on revisiting the 3DO anytime soon? I don't know, Marcos. I mean, I like the 3DO, man. I'd like to do more content on it. If something interesting comes out for the 3DO that I want to cover on the channel, I probably will. But you know, I think I did a pretty good job covering it last time. But who knows, man? I always go back and look at things I've done in the past, and in some instances, I feel like, especially older videos that I've done, I feel like I could have done them better, or maybe go back and remake them again, because you know, as a YouTuber, you kind of learn your craft, and as you make more and more videos over time, you get better and better at it. So I go back and watch videos that I made like 2 years ago, and I'm like, you know, what was I thinking? You know, I just cringe. So in some instances, I may actually go back and remake a video, but you know, if there's anything interesting on the 3DO, or if I come across some interesting hardware for the 3DO, I'll definitely go back and revisit it for sure. Have you used the Neo Geo X? I actually have a Neo Geo X Silver Spooner. I bought one. I was excited to get it. I used it, and I was like, this is absolute garbage. But now they're kind of like, they're not collector's items, but they're kind of harder to find. I still have my Neo Geo X, but no, I've used it for maybe a total of 30 minutes. Do you own an Atari Jaguar? I used to own a Jaguar. I sold it about 2 years ago, and now that they're bringing out an Atari Jaguar SD card, or a flash card for it, I'm desperately trying to find a good deal on a Jaguar. And now, you know, they're like stupid prices, like $500 and $400. So if I can find a cheap one, I'll definitely get one back. But I want to check out that flash card that comes out for it. Yeah, man, I like the 3DO. It got a bit of a raw deal. It also wasn't marketed very well, and it also was, you know, right there next to the PlayStation, and obviously didn't do very well. So never opened your Neo Geo X. That's hilarious. Wolfenstein on Jaguar. Wolfenstein on Jaguar is a good port, dude. The Jaguar is another system that gets, and I know I'm thinking about it with kind of rose tinted glasses, but there's some pretty good games on the Jag to play. Jaguar CD, dude. I'd love to get my hands on one of those puppies. I never hacked my Neo Geo X, but I heard the same thing, that they're pretty good once you jailbreak them. PUBG or Fortnite? I'd say PUBG, but I'm not a big battle royale guy. Never played Fortnite, and I haven't played Apex Legends either. Thanks, Red Syrup. I appreciate the kind words, man. AVP, yeah, I've AVP. I don't know, man. AVP was great when it came out. The frame rate is pretty damn low on the Jaguar, but if I had to pick games on the Jag, I'd probably pick Tempest 2000. Yeah, Rayman was a good port. Raiden, the shoot 'em up game, that's really good. And one of the best ports on the Jaguar that people always overlook is NBA Jam Tournament Edition. Is like almost freaking arcade perfect. It's like one of the best ports of NBA Jam on any home system. And it was actually developed by Vince Zampella, who is the guy that now runs Respawn Entertainment, who is also the guy that did Modern Warfare with Vince. Who was the other guy with Vince Zampella? West, I think it was. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, NBA Jam on the Jag is the shit for sure. Do you know of the C64 Mini? Yes, Scratch OS. I have two of them. I have a PAL and an NTSC model. I love the... Dude, I grew up with the Commodore 64, so yes, I have two of those systems. What's up, in Hell... I can't even pronounce his name. Inhale BTS. Zool is a good game on the Jaguar. Yeah, I like Zool, man. Good game, but the Amiga version is the best, of course. Do you recommend getting the Nintendo Wii nowadays? Yes, I do. Absolutely. And you need to mod that sucker. You'll get the best possible enjoyment out of it for sure. Are you looking forward to Dungeons and Brazos on the Switch? Should be game of the year. I'll have to check that one out. Troll Beta. If you can find a Wii U. Yeah, dude, what's up with Wii U's being so expensive? I mean, I don't know what the deal with the Wii U is right now. Have you tried the Wii Flow USB loader on the Wii? I have not. I've seen it and I've heard good things. Yeah, it looks pretty badass. BTS is a band. What is it? Is that the name of the band, or does it stand for something? People are paying. Yeah, dude, people are paying. I don't know if people are paying $500 for a Jaguar, but people are trying to sell a Jaguar for $500. Will I ever cut my hair? Dude, I cut my hair like yesterday. Can't you tell? Wii U went up in price. I don't know why. Why would the Wii U go up in price? I don't understand, like, how the market works. I mean, if you guys are looking to me to give you advice about, like, buying and selling shit, I'm not the guy to talk to. I don't get how the Wii U would be going up in price. I mean, I get it, you know, it's no longer being made or whatever, but it's still the Wii U, you know. Yeah, I think Sean, you're right. I mean, I think now that it's no longer being made, people are like scrambling to get their hands on the system and the games, maybe. But and is but the PlayStation Vita is in the same situation, right? Even though there are technically some more PS Vita games still to come, the system is no longer being made. So, you know, does that mean that this Vita is going up in price as well? Again, I don't really know. Yeah, I have a Wii U, and I bought one. I bought one when it came out. I like the Wii U, man. I like the Wii U a lot, actually. Yeah, that's a good point. Some of the ports can be played, including Zelda, for cheap. Very, very good point. Like Tropical Freeze and Zelda, and I think that's a very interesting point you bring up. Plus homebrew, yeah, for sure. I like the Wii U, man. It's a good system. PSTV has skyrocketed. Absolutely. PlayStation TV, are you kidding me? Dude, they used to sell PlayStation TVs at Best Buy for 25 bucks in the freaking clearance bin. And now they're like, I don't even know how much they are, but I mean, PlayStation TV, I mean, if anyone's paying more than like, and this is high end, like $100 for one, you're getting severely ripped off. There's no way, you know, you should spend that much on a PSTV. 80 shipped isn't bad for a PSTV, but it's still pretty high. Yeah, like PlayStation TV was, though they couldn't give them away. 120 bucks on eBay. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I get it, you can mod them and everything, and that's cool, but man. Yeah, it's unfortunate that happens. And I guess, you know, someone like me making videos about this stuff, I guess I'm not really helping the market, but I'm not doing it to, you know, to jack up prices or anything. I'm doing it because I love the hardware. You know, I want to talk about it, and I want to, you know, show you guys what the systems can do when you mod them. What about the price of Amiga hardware? Absolutely. Amiga hardware is stupid high. It's obscene high. Erroneous click. There's an OG Xbox on eBay at 14. Yeah, that's the orange one. Yeah, I was looking at that one today. Man, that is a sexy looking piece of hardware, but it looks a little knocked around as well. But I would love to get my hands on that thing. Not for 14K though. Am I a secret Nintendo fanboy? I am not a Nintendo fanboy. $150 with it, with the box and a 4GB card. 150 is, it's a lot of money for a PlayStation TV. Atari hardware is very pricey too. You're talking about like retro Atari hardware, like Atari STs and computers and consoles. Hey MVG, love your videos. I want to buy a modded Xbox 360 and I want to do the RGH hack and install a mod chip. Is there a console specific chip or all the chips work the same? I don't really know the answer to that. I think that, I think that all the RGH chips will work the same, but I don't really know one that I would recommend because I haven't really been in that scene for a while. There's some 360 guys in the chat, so they can probably tell you what the best chip to get is if you want to RGH your 360. Bought a PS TV for $15. Yeah, I mean, that's how much they were going for, man. They were cheap as chips. Yes, I've seen Atari ST520 going for 400 Australian dollars. Good God. That is very expensive. What games do you have with the Vita? I've got quite a few games, man. I like the Vita a lot. I'm kind of into the limited run games thing because I know the Vita's ending its games here pretty soon. I think there's only a handful left to come out before it's done completely. I'm drinking kombucha. Nothing exciting. Vita is underrated. Do I play the guitar? Yes, Kura, I do play the guitar. Vita SD cards are crazy high priced. Yeah, the thing about the Vita SD cards is they've always been high priced. That's where Sony was really kind of making money, I guess, from you, was the SD cards that they were trying to peddle. Do you think Sony will ever make another handheld? I really want them to, Mateo. Will they ever make another one? I don't know. I would say no. I wish they would, though. And please, I hope they prove me wrong. Please prove me wrong, Sony. What's your favorite 360 game? Probably Gears 2. For me, I would probably say Fable 2 is my favorite 360 game. But dude, Gears 2 was badass. And Halo 3, I mean, come on. Some good games there. Should I homebrew my Wii U? Yes. Yes, you should. Absolutely. The other thing about homebrewing your Wii U is you get region free as well. And playing region free games on the Wii U is a big deal. Thanks, Frank. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I like drinking kombucha. It's good stuff. Fable Anniversary, Halo 3, Gears 2. Yes, all good games. All good games for sure. What are my thoughts on region locking? Dude, I think it's like one of the worst things that hardware companies ever thought of doing. It's awful. I don't really get the reason why they ever decided to do it. I'm glad that none of them are region locking their games anymore. Can you homebrew your Wii U with the latest updates? Yes, you can, SPK. Yes, you can. Have I ventured into Japanese Yahoo auctions? Yes, I have, Marcos. I've dabbled with Yahoo Japan before. Haven't used it in quite some time because it's a lot different these days than it used to be. It was a lot easier to get stuff for cheaper back in the day. These days, there's a lot of resellers that are there, a lot of proxy services that are buying things up, and it's a lot more difficult to get good deals on stuff. But you can still find good stuff on Yahoo Japan. Has anyone ever played Oblivion? Dude, Oblivion is awesome. I prefer Oblivion to Skyrim. What's up, radio player? Thanks for joining. What's up, Emmanuel? Hey, Timothy. Yeah, man, I do stream, but I usually just do impromptu streams pretty quickly. Oblivion is so good. Absolutely. Morrowind is the best Skyrim. Dude, Morrowind is awesome. I need to go back and play that again. Yeah, I never got into Skyrim, honestly, guys. I was so excited when that game came out, and I started playing it. I'm like, I'm just not feeling this. Not feeling it at all. And I just kind of stopped. And Oblivion, dude, when I started playing Oblivion, I was hooked on that game for weeks. Oh man, dude, we've been here for like 2.5 hours. I'm gonna give it about 10 more minutes, guys, before we wrap up. But I promise you guys, I'm not gonna wait 4 months for the next live stream. So we'll do this again. I need to, get my shit together as far as doing live streams. Have I played Iron Maiden? That's the new build engine game. No, but man, I want to definitely check it out for sure. Definitely want to check that one out. Francisco, what language do you use to program for the Switch, and how do you compile it? I use C and C++, and what you want to do is go to a website called devkitpro.org, and you can download a homebrew Switch development kit, and that'll have everything that you need to get started on writing homebrew on the Switch. What was the first console I ever played? It would have been the Nintendo Entertainment System. Any way to overclock the Wii U? I'm sure there probably is, Mateo, but not something I've ever done personally. 3DS Homebrew is fantastic. Yes, it is, David. It's something that I'm going to be covering on the channel pretty soon. How did you learn to code? I went to university and studied computer science, LP Panther, but I've always been interested in like learning programming languages. Don't really know how to answer that very well. The first time I saw video games running, I wanted to know how they worked, and I kind of just went from there, I guess. Yes, I have heard about CXPX Reloaded. Yes, good emulator. Make sure that your next stream isn't during the middle of the week. I'll try to make sure it's on a weekend, ATI. I'll definitely schedule it out better so more people have a heads up on when to when they know. I mean, I literally gave 30 minutes heads up before I started live streaming tonight. Thank you so much, Frank. I really appreciate the super chat, man. Thank you. Is this my full-time job? No, it's not, man. I do YouTube on the side. 5 a.m. Man, where are you, SPK? Oh, it's 4:20 in 4:20 over there, Anthony. Have a good night. Oh, you're in France. Awesome. Awesome. Is PSP still a good platform for homebrew? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Tech's awesome. Absolutely. Do I like retro games or modern? I like both, but definitely leaning towards retro games for sure. What's your favorite system to homebrew other than the Xbox? Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, PSP. I would say any of those are pretty good. Will you get the Poly Mega? I probably will. Wizard Games. It's one of those systems where I'm like, I know that there's been a lot of, you know, smoke and mirrors, I guess, but it seems like that they actually have a product, and if they have a product, then I'm going to want to check it out. So yeah, I probably will. Yes, this is kombucha, Kirk. Good eye. The Sega CD sounds amazing through the Mega. Yes, it does. In fact, if Smoke Mirror is still on, Smoke Monster is still on, check out his live stream he did yesterday. He was demoing Sega CD stuff, playing like Echo the Dolphin and stuff like that. Man, it sounds awesome. Awesome. All right, fellas, I'm gonna give it like a few more minutes and we're gonna wrap up. Can you do more 360 videos? Yes, I can. How much do I make per vid? Honestly, Manuel, I mean, I don't really mind telling people how much I make. It's not as much as you think. Let me put it this way: it's anywhere from like $100 to $1,000. That's really what it comes down to. How clean is my bathroom? Dude, it's very clean. What do you think? What do you think I live in? MK11 on the Switch is going to be impressive. Yes, I cannot wait for MK11. The most I made in YouTube in a year was $200. Yeah, dude, like, I think, you know, for years and years and years, I didn't even make that much money. So it's nice to make a little bit of money on the side for sure, but honestly, man, the money isn't that great. The money isn't the reason why you make YouTube videos. Let's put it that way. Because it's you know, it's not that much. Kombucha sticker on a VB bottle, dude. If I actually had access to VB, I would totally do that. What systems do you want to get into? I started on Lure on the PSP. Yeah, PSP is good, man. I think right now I'm pretty happy with the Switch stuff that I'm doing, but the one that I really want to get into more is the PlayStation 4 for sure. That scene is really starting to take off. Oh, thanks, Erroneous Click. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for stopping by tonight too. Recommend anyone for Xbox 360 hacking services? Not really. I'm not sure where you are in the world, Parker, but I would probably just suggest look in local Facebook groups or Craigslist or something and see if you can find something. Would you be interested in making more videos on how copy protection was broken on different systems? Yes, Derek. Absolutely. There's more to come there for sure. So stay tuned. It's a very interesting topic that I want to cover more of for sure. Hardest console I've ever modded. I'd probably say, oh, that's a good question. PlayStation 2. PlayStation 2 is also always a pain in the ass to put a mod chip into. Well, it used to be before FreeMC boot. Xbox 360 is it's not difficult, but it's a pain in the butt as well. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Gear Seekers. Yeah, man, I'll try to do another one sooner rather than later. But thanks for stopping by. Yes, Mr. Sadface. Yes, there will be a new podcast soon. Yes, I'm working on it. There should be one this week. So yeah, thanks for reminding me. Yes, there's definitely one on the way. Interesting topics as well that I want to talk about too. So, what are you willing to pay for an RGH 360? I don't know, man. You're talking to the wrong guy. I already have one, so I'm not really sure. Thanks, Coont Tracker 69. Thanks for the super chat. All right, everyone. We're going to wrap it up for now. It's been over 2.5 hours. I could do this all night, but I'm getting pretty tired, and I know some of you guys have been here since the start. So thank you so much, guys, for hanging out with me tonight. And I promise that we will do some more live streaming. You guys enjoy the rest of your night, or wherever you are in the world, have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you again soon. Later.